Oh, we're gonna start it. I'm so sorry.
we in this one, right? There's only one, right?
Only one. You're good. No multiple cameras.
Oh, cool.
Not yet. All right, cool. Welcome back to an all-new season of Keepin It a Bean, where commentary and culture all happen over a cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever you need. But just know a conversations happen over a cup of a drink, something like that. If you are new here, my name is Marquise Davon, across all social media. I am your host, educator, activist, coffee brand owner, by Leroy's up here as well. All doing things. I looked and I had to question that because I said I can't say this too much because 3 people within the last week said, Marquise, when are you launching your campaign? And this has been one of the people who have been talking about it forever. Relax, Daniel. Anyways, it is good to be back. So many new things have been happening, and I'm so excited to be back recording with the team all over again. So kudos to the team that is here. I appreciate y'all behind the scenes. Yeah.
Thank y'all, man.
But yeah, we have not recorded an actual episode of Keepin It a Bean since June. Yeah. Niggas is 30 now. We knew. Live some life. And so I'm excited to kick this season off with Timmo Russ. He is an artist. He is a curator, creator. I see you do a lot of things. You ever see Victorious? Or not Victorious. What's that show called? With Nickelodeon? Don't worry about it. But you're the man who does everything. And I'd be like, I can never pin this man down in terms of like what he is actually doing all the time. Because you are everywhere and anywhere and you wear so many hats, literally. But welcome to the show, good brother. How you feeling?
First off, thank you for having me, man. I feel great.
Sir. It's good to have you here, dog.
I'm glad to be here, man. I've been, watching you for a while and, things finally aligning. I didn't know this was the first episode back in a while. So
yes. It has
I'm
been.
even more honored now, bro. It's the pressure's on. Gotta make the first one a good one then.
Nah, we chilling. No, but I'm excited to be in this conversation with you because you have a couple things coming up. But before we even get there, in terms of like the Michael Jackson tribute you have going on by the end of the month as well, really for the audience to kind of get to know you and also your venture into your own artistry and of what you are. So before we fully get into that part of the conversation, I want to bring in our titular segment. This is the Keepin It a Bean segment. Keepin It a Bean is where you keep it 100. You can give your rawest hot take no matter what it is. I know it's the holiday season coming up, so we're not going to go back to what Salah had said months ago in terms of that terrible hot take. So we're not going to talk about that. No, you don't got to hear it again. We don't got to bring it back, but a good callback. So, do you have a hot take? You want anything you need to get off your spirit and let the audience know?
Can we talk about what we was just talking about?
You can talk about whatever. This is your hot take.
I mean, I think that I don't want to say it's a hot take, it's just a take because I'm dumbfounded, but I'm also happy to be a part of something that was really great for my legacy, and that was being a part of Rec Philly. And I know that, things are changing for the better, no matter what outlook we look at in life. When one door closes, another one opens. And I just want to say hats off to, the founders of Rec Philly, Dave and Will Times, for creating such an amazing community and platform. And I'm interested to see what their transition is going to be as they make changes. So for me, that's a great take because I want to give a round of applause, to Rec Philly and everything they've done. They've done so many great things for me. I've learned so much for them. And I think, being as though we're closing out 2025 with seeing where Rec and the founders and that team is going to go is something that's, I'm passionate about. And, I just want to say thank you to them. And if it wasn't for them, I may not know you. And,
right.
I may not know a lot of people. And I think, it's interesting for people that have been paving the way for creators and artists to give them their flowers. And those two gentlemen and the people there have been nothing but amazing and supportive to creators, Black creators, influencers, artists. And, I'm just excited to see what's to come and what things they can inspire with their next moves.
Yeah, nah, I appreciate you saying that too, because definitely when I first joined Rec was fresh out of college, and it was 2018 is when I got here, and then started learning about what they were doing. And I remember because Yusuf was also somebody
Legend.
yeah,
He's a legend.
but he was doing a entire workshop on how to build out events and sustainable events, and so that's really what got me into my event curation bag a little bit more, and being able to learn from him. But then also from there, I was with them, became an official member in 2019 when I moved to Philly. No, I became a member with them prior to moving to Philly, and then when I came here, I was 3 blocks away from the Ninth and Dolphin location in the warehouse. And so that's how I began to build out my first official community here in Philadelphia as well. So where oftentimes I would ask, like, how's the creative space out here, blah, 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 blah. So many people would be like, it's a lot of competition, this, that, and the third. But when I first got here, it was all around collaboration. And so I think around those early days of being at Rec Philly and watching them grow, working with them as an employee at one point in time, and then also being able to rebrand my podcast and really grow there in my earlier stages as a creative, absolutely helped me find a community immediately here in Philly, but then also found folks that were willing to like invest in each other, which to me was also super important in my formative years. So thinking back now, I was like, dang, I've been with them for 7 years now. Wow. To think about it.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, and so for me, it definitely is a bittersweet moment of seeing them close, but I'm very curious about what these next steps are going to be like in terms of still kind of cultivating that space, even if the physical location might not be present with us right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I know whatever they do is going to be amazing. Those guys are innovators. That's the first place I've ever been welcomed to, where instead of being put in a box saying you can only do one thing, they told me I could do everything.
Right.
You know, it's been the one place where I've been able to work and make money at the same time, be in the other side of the space, creating content or recording music, at the same time having a meeting. Yep. You know, they didn't restrict me. Coming from a hospitality background, it was always like, hey, listen, we just want you to be a promoter. Or, hey, listen, we just want you to be an artist. And they just welcomed me with open arms and said, one of the first meetings I had was like, no, do everything. So I know whatever they do is going to be great. And I'm inspired by their legacy. So I know, you know, sometimes you got to transform into other vessels to move on to the next level. So I know whatever they transform into next is going to be, you know, spectacular regardless.
Facts.
Yeah.
Nah, I appreciate that. Yeah, so Rec, we're going to be on the lookout for what's going to be happening next. I appreciate you naming that.
Yeah, for sure.
And if I'ma keep it a bean, Daniel, why do you look like that?
he like what he about to say.
What he about to say? Oh, if I'm gonna keep it a bean, honestly, Quarter Zip's really not where it's at. I'm gonna be honest. It's really. Oh, you got a Quarter Zip on? Oh. Ain't nothing wrong with the Quarter Zip. I know. Nah. Hold on. I didn't even peep. I'm so sorry. What y'all don't see off to the side. I did, but that was for the kids. And so, for me, low-key, the Quarter Zip should not be the thing that's going viral right now. Either get the cardigan or the ascot should be the thing going viral. We are fashionable people, and yo chose the least fashionable thing. And so when we think about the Quarter Zip right now, it's really, if you open your third eye, my brother, okay, that is us assimilating into the white culture. You feel me? We're trying to assimilate into this dominant culture. And that to me is not going to be what it is, okay? What we should be worried about is how we going to revolutionize fashion, okay? You want us to go business? When we got the Black Ivy, when we got nicer ways, we got history, the Harlem Renaissance you can go to figure out how to like up that. So if you're gonna get rid of your Nike techs, let's bring in the ascots. You feel me? Yeah. Snap to that. No offense, Salah. What Kavon called them earlier, the Nike tech demons. Gotta get them out of here. But yes, no, it is steeped in anti-blackness. And so, fellas, still, as black people, we're going to make anything cool. But I got to say, put down the Lululemon. They don't even like us for real. Put down the Quarter Zips. Pick something cooler. So who's going to make the ascot go viral next? That's my question. That's all I want to keep it a bean on.
Well, I mean, if you think about Carlton and what he did with the white culture, he made it cool.
He did.
So we need a Carlton-like figure to take the quarter zip.
So how do we make it?
Put some swag on.
Put some swag to it.
Carlton made
Put some
the
snacks
tie
on.
round sweater swaggy.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's the Jack and Jills that we need. Okay, maybe the Martha Vineyards Blacks. Okay.
Montauk.
Okay.
Up there.
Where they go? Oak Bluffs. See us. Ralph Lauren. See us. Okay. Anyways, that's my hot take. Oh, I appreciate that. So anyways, that's the ridiculousness. We can go anywhere in this spectrum of things to talk about when it comes to keeping it a bean. And that's what we're going to keep it a bean about. But we're going to move into next is actually steeping into this conversation. You see how we got the coffee and the tea references being made. Okay. And so when we steep into this conversation, it's one where we can allow it to kind of marinate and really talk about some stuff. But this is where we're really going to be able to get to know who you are in your entire career, which is also leading you up to this current moment that you're in right now, which is super exciting. And so we're going to take a quick break and come on back. And so we are back, and we're really going to steep into this conversation. And so, Timmo Russ, man, I'm a fan of you.
I appreciate that.
I'm a fan of you.
I'm
I told you I used to do the little dance like you. You think I ain't watched the video? Stop
What?
playing.
Yo,
Yeah.
Hit me in my heart right now. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I said stop playing with him.
Amen.
Legit just a fan of you because you are such a warm and inviting human. Every time I see you, you are working on something new. You are a multi-hyphenate, and you absolutely. That's why I'm sitting there. I was like, I can't describe everything that this man does because every time I see you in a new pocket, it's really, really dope to experience because it gives permission for other people to really serve as multi-hyphenates and really being able to reel that in. And so I wanted to kind of start back because you said you started out in hospitality and nightlife. And so I would love to know like how you got started in that to really launch off on all the other projects that you have also worked on as well. So start with nightlife. How'd you get into that?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. And thank you for the observation. You know, being an artist, sometimes when you do different things like dance moves or make music and you see people pay attention to it, it's heartwarming, man. So I appreciate the words. So I mean, I started off in hospitality when I was 17 years old. I was a bartender. I worked for a catering company that was ran by one Mr. Kevin Parker, the late great Kevin Parker. He had a catering company over at 38th and Market. It was a family-owned business and family-oriented business. Myself, my father, and my mother, we were servers and maitre d's with the catering company. He opened up a bar on South Street called Miss Tootsie's after that. Oh. And I just turned 21. He was like, "You want to bartend?" I was like, "Yeah." So I was one of the first bartenders working at the South Street location. And around that time, I was always into music. And I started working there when he had Will Smith and T.I. and Charlie Mack and all these celebrities coming through there all the time. And I had this thought where I was like, man, I'm going to use bartending and hospitality to kind of elevate my dream of being an artist. And then that just kind of took me on a rabbit hole of being a bartender, from going from Miss Tootsie's to another nightclub called Vault. And to be honest with you, I got really excited and engulfed in the culture of hospitality from bartending and managing. I kind of took a step back from making music for a while, and I just ran with that lane for a little while. Being a bartender, being on the scene, and, you know, girls and the culture and all of that, you know, took me on this nightlife great career where I started promoting my own events. One of the first ever events, which we could talk about, you know, further down, that I ever put together was a Michael Jackson tribute concert. That was back in 2012.
Wow.
I did that concert/event. You know, I was bartending for a while, and I became popular because I was attracting so many people to my bar that one of the owners of this club, Vault, I worked at, his name was Justin Carson. Shout out to Justin Carson, legendary Philadelphia nightlife, you know, curator. He was like, yo, why don't you do an event? I did an event at this place called Landmark. It was a hit. I was like, all right, you know, I'm gonna do a concert now because I know all these musicians that came to Vault.
Right.
I met a guy by accident who I didn't know was Kanye's DJ at the time. His name was DJ Active. And he was the regular. I didn't know if for a while, man. He was the regular DJ at my bar all the time. So like I was like, yo, I want to do a Michael Jackson tribute concert because Mike just passed away. Justin was like, yo, talk to Active. He's Kanye's DJ. I was like, what? I'm like, this guy, I've been, serving drinks for months. I didn't know that. And then I talked to him, and he was like, yo, if you can do Michael Jackson, you might as well put my sister Marsha Ambrosius on it. And I was like, Marsha? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, wow. So I had like everything in my mind at that time within my reach to put together a successful tribute to Michael Jackson because She Wrote Butterflies. And I had all these musicians. There was a drummer that was always playing at the club. His name was Dave Watson, who's also my partner in this up-and-coming project. And we put together these artists and these musicians, and we paid homage to Michael Jackson. I'm just such a big Michael Jackson fan. Mm-hmm. So that was like my first concert and introduction into this community of musicians from that event. And then from there, I was like, okay, I can do it. So I just started adding onto my resume doing events. I got picked up on a corporate level to manage a nightclub in Philadelphia called Down Nightclub. That was maybe about like 3-4 years later. That was a real corporate outlook and take on nightlife. I learned everything from P&L sheets to marketing and designed the whole marketing of that club for about 5 years. Went on to places like the Borgata as a nightlife, marketing director / VIP host. Mm-hmm. And then, being in that space as a promoter, nightlife manager, when I got to pre-pandemic, I just kind of felt boxed in. And I was like, man, if I'm going to be a promoter, I want to be a real promoter. So I branched off, and in 2019, I just started creating my own festivals. Mm-hmm. I created a festival with some of these artists I named. I did like 2 or 3 of them. I got a taste. I was like, bet. I was on a streak. Then the pandemic came along. I actually moved to Florida to try to pursue some things in Miami as a promoter. Mm-hmm. I was in a relationship, didn't work out. The pandemic, I'm heartbroken. Yeah. And I was just, boy era. Yeah, man, I was sad. I love speaking about it because that forced me to be bored and forced my pen to start getting creative. And I started writing music. And at that time, I was like, man, it might be a little late in the game for me to be an artist. But I was like, you know what, F it, And I wrote a song called The First Day Out, which featured DJ Active and some other friends of mine. And that song, the first day I released that song, they put it on the radio. Yeah. And
what was that like?
I was just like, oh, okay, this is what I was supposed to be doing. Yeah. Because that was just a testament, and I preach this to everybody, to maintain your relationships as best as you can, because the people that put me on the radio was a DJ that I had worked with a lot, and when I started doing music, they was like, oh snap, Tim the promoter is making music now, and it's fire. So that was 2020. For like 2 years, I was all in this artistic bag. I grew my hair out. I was like, oh, I'm an artist now, writing. For real, I was on some other type of time. I wasn't putting enough oil in my hair. You know what I mean? I was like on some other stuff, bro. I was on something else. The barbershops wasn't open, so I was like, forget it. Let's see what happens. And I was just kind of discovering, my voice and my lane, and there was nothing going on, so I just kept writing music. And then when the world opened back up, I was like, I'm gonna use events to promote, my artistry. But the events were realistically the only thing that was really bringing in money for me. So I got sidetracked and just I would only put out maybe 1 or 2 songs a year, but I was always having these big events. Mm-hmm. And, with the events, they would, promote my music. And I just been kind of in a space where it's like, like you said, I wear a lot of hats, where I'm an entrepreneur, bar manager, promoter space, and I use music as a marketing tool. And it's been cool because it's a good and bad thing, to be honest with you, because it's good because I'm capable of doing a lot of things, but then as I learn, sometimes you got to focus on one thing at a time.
Well, yeah, that's actually what I wanted to kind of lean into a little bit more, because you were in multiple aspects of nightlife. Mm-hmm. But now something else that I'm thinking around is, how were you able to rein in on how people were able to understand who you were as a brand? Because that's something I think I had to learn a little bit more. Is like, people have multiple entry points of me. So some people might know me from political stuff. Some people might know me from education. They know me from the coffee. They know me from events. They know me from podcasting. And so I had to learn how to kind of connect all of those pieces or kind of observe like, and sometimes it might primarily be Marquise the podcaster first. So that's what people primarily knew me for. And so how were you able to kind of, what made you make the decision to rein it in, and what lane did you essentially choose at that point?
I feel like, to be honest with you, up until recently, we're in 2026 now, or going into 2026. I didn't really figure out what my niche was, bro, until like a few months ago.
Yeah. Oh, snap.
Real talk, because
What caused that?
I did wearing myself out, putting a lot on my plate. I had some really big seasons, but like those seasons where me waking up, running my bar, recording music, shooting content, promoting an event, running like 2 events at the same time, and still shooting a music video on the same day.
You burnt yourself out.
Big time.
Yeah.
But it caused a lot of growth. And as an artist, you have to develop yourself. So it's like, as an artist, I wanted all these things instantly.
Yeah.
But this made me develop my craft as an artist. And what I honed in on was the fact that I'm a brand.
Yeah.
I'm an artist. I'm not just a promoter. I'm not just a rapper. I'm not just a singer, a producer. I'm an artist. Even as a promoter, you guys, are promoters of yourselves. When you promote an event, everything from creating the concept to picking the venue to picking the people you want to be in the venue to the style of music you want played, that's an art form. Promoters, I feel like, don't get that acknowledgement. So although I didn't get that, I was like, I'm an artist. And for me, it was like I had to take a step back. I took about a year off of things, and I said, what can I figure out to put this all into one?
Right.
And now with the MJ event coming up, I have the opportunity to kind of display what that is. Yeah. But I have never can say I've had it all figured out. It's like I record a song, I'm putting this out. We'll see what happens with it. It does well, but then it would create a marketing tool for me to market my events.
Right.
So that was the best thing about it. Whereas like I had this song or these records that would say, all right, come see me host an event or perform at the event. Yeah. And it's been cool because I've had an opportunity to open up for a lot of dope people. I've opened up for Snoop Dogg, Fab, Ja Rule. I've done big festivals with like Crystal Waters and a lot of big people.
Yeah.
So it's just been a discovery, man. I can't sit here and say like I got it all figured out.
And that's real. And like, I think, where are you at currently in this discovery phase? Because I often find that's a little bit of, it's sometimes difficult for creatives and multi-hyphenates to really like be in here. So what are some things you're learning about yourself in this discovery phase?
What I learned is that tough times, adversity, and challenges forces a lot of beautiful reactions. Yeah. And for me, I have something called Groove Camp that I know is my lane now. And I'm also very big into fitness and wellness. Yeah. So what Groove Camp is a hip hop step aerobics class.
That's fire.
So I was inspired by this gentleman out of Cleveland. I saw him doing something called it's like hip hop stepping. Yeah. It's my goal to promote events, wellness, and music all in one thing. Yeah. And that is Groove Camp, and that's actually going to be starting in January. And that is a hip-hop workout experience where you'll have live performances, and it's perfect for me because I'm nationally certified as a group fitness instructor by NASM. So you might come to my class, you might see me teaching the class, or I might be performing at the class. Yeah. Or I might have a guest performer come and perform while I'm instructing the class. So like I said, all these things, I'm like, man, I'm promoting, doing hospitality, I'm singing, I'm rapping. I'm like, this is everything all in one. Yeah. Where I want to take wellness as the event, and within that, you're going to get music and how to work out and how to burn calories, like all at the same time. Yeah. So like when you ask me, how did I figure it out? I literally didn't figure it out till like a few months ago. Yeah.
But I appreciate that, because so often we think we're supposed to have like the answer of like where we're supposed to be as creatives, where we thought we were going to end up, and like kind of being on this journey of like it's not going to be linear, and sometimes you might accidentally see like, oh, this is actually the value that I'm bringing. So right now your centerpiece is wellness, but you get to incorporate all aspects. You doing the event stuff because that's your hospitality and event stuff coming into it. you're able to still bring and build a culture there. That's the promoter part coming in. But then you also add your artist self into it as well. So not only are you naturally cultivating a community and a culture around Timmo Russ, this person, this brand, and your community is going to buy into whatever you're going to be next because they know you have them at the other end of whatever you're trying to do, which I think is like really, really dope to have as a concept because it for me, it's natural extensions of who you are as a person. Like I told you, like when I first met you, I said, "Oh, you are a warm and inviting human," off rip. And so I imagine like that's how you extend, because a natural extension of self is inviting other people into that space to be better versions of themselves and be able to have a good time as well. Like that's what I really gather from not only just you as a person, but also your music. And every single time I see you're almost like in a space of service, kind of, to really just be like, no, how can I help you out here? Whether you were behind the bar and bartending, whether you're entertaining somebody, like, right, that to me feels very indicative of who you are. And so I guess like this last piece that leans into this MJ tribute event that you have coming up. One, when is it? What should people hope to expect out of it? And how is it going to be different from your first one before we finish out the interview?
Yeah, so it's Black Friday, November the 28th at Rec Philly. We have an all-star lineup of local Philly legends. It's a Philadelphia tribute to Michael Jackson. The difference between the first one I did and now, which is a full circle moment, is the first one I was just organizing and promoting it.
Yeah.
This time I'm actually performing.
Come on now.
So for me, it's like,
yeah,
I appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me because it was kind of like an alignment. Especially we were promoting the event, and 3 weeks into the campaign, they put out the trailer. I'm like, thank you, MJ. You know what I mean?
That's perfect with the movie and everything.
Yeah, bro, it was like a blessing. And I think the most important message is remembering the ones who came before us, our ancestors.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, I feel like, is the greatest entertainer to walk this earth, and the culture he's impacted and promoted to everyone that came after him has been important to me and important to a lot of people. Everything from the fashion to the entertainers, you know, everyone takes a piece from Mike. And for me, you know, when it comes to our ancestors, we can't forget where we came from. We got to pay homage to them. There's a lot of people that have paved the way for me. I even got on the shirt, I want to spread some love and shout out to DJ Gary O, who was a Philly DJ and pioneer. But like, this event is about those people that came before us, and being as though Michael Jackson was a pinnacle influencer in our culture. That's what it's about. We have some amazing musicians playing. I'm blessed to have my brother Eric Wortham, who is one of the top pianists in the world. He's a piano player the official piano player for Adele. Whenever you see Adele playing, he's the gentleman next to her on the piano, a fellow Virgo brother of mine.
A Virgo. Top tier human right
yes,
here.
Yes, sir. All day. Hey, look, man.
Just saying.
Beyonce is a Virgo. Michael Jackson's a Virgo. You know,
Kobe Bryant's a Virgo.
You know, we can ring on. You know,
that's fine.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. It's like I want to make it a Philadelphia tribute to Michael Jackson because even Mike had great roots here in Philadelphia. You know, when he was part of the Jackson 5, some of his first original records he recorded were with Gamble and Huff here in Philadelphia. Yeah. And I think Philadelphia, even coming up on the 2026 year, being the 250th celebration of the country being established, is important for the world to understand how important Philly is to the world.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
And no, I appreciate that because that's so much history that is all laced in there. And I think people forget that. I keep saying it, no matter where interviews are at. One thing I say about Philly is that everywhere you go in the world, there is somebody from Philly on somebody's team, and that's why they are successful. And so that's going to be what that is. But before we close out, let the people know where they can find you on social media, all that good stuff, and I'll leave that in the description box below.
Absolutely. You can find me on Instagram at Timmo Russ. That's my TikTok. That's my IG. And, you know, Facebook is Timmo Russ as well. And, yeah, if you see me, DM me. Let's work.
Say less. I see what you did there. All right, good brother. I appreciate you.
No, man. Thank you,
so
bro.
much. Absolutely.
It's a pleasure. Yes, sir.
That's another episode of Keepin' It the Bean. It is so good to be back, and we will see y'all next episode. We get into some politicking. Peace out.
Thank you, man. Appreciate